Hey guys, how's it going? It's Jewel Tolentino here. Alright, so in this video, I'm going to be doing like a year-end calculation totals of my Craigslist sales in 2018. So, it is 2019, January 2019, and I just wanted to do like an overall year-end calculation thing because I keep track of every single Craigslist sale that I do. It's fun for me and I love to see, the actual number of items sold. So this whole Craigslist thing started back up again in 2018 after I took maybe like 2 or 3 years break from it. I took a break from it for a bunch of years, and then I noticed, like, I can't help but notice when things accumulate and I want to sell it. For example, I saw an accumulation of old laptops, so I got a new laptop, Arik got a new laptop, my sister got a new laptop, my mom got a new laptop, and we would have just these old laptops, like, just sitting around the house. And I knew and I know that I can sell them. So after an accumulation of these laptops, that's when I decided to start selling on Craigslist again. And I decided that in about May 2018, April, May. And then, so these are sales from April, May 2018 up until December last month, 2018. So that's about 8-9 months. And Craigslist I do part-time. I'm not a full-time Craigslister. I'm a part-time one. And I pretty much do it on my terms, meaning the people usually come to us and they meet in the cities that I'm usually in. So let's open the book here, and I'm just going to do I'm not going to say like every single item that I sold, but I'll give you some highlights here, which are pretty interesting. And in my opinion, a lot of people are like, how can I sell things on Craigslist? Do people actually buy things? And I'll just share with you like a bunch of stuff that you wouldn't think would sell, but they actually do. For me, Craigslist is like a fun game. I'm obsessed with it and it's exciting to me. So that's why I still do it, even though, we do like a YouTube channel and stuff and we're online. I still enjoy the game of Craigslist. So our final total was $3,321 on Craigslist local here in Vancouver. And that was for 74 items, 74 Craigslist sales, $3,321. So that is a pretty good chunk of cash, in my opinion, considering that most of these items were either like used, free, my dad found them, I found them, or I got it really cheap at a thrift store. So let me give you some highlights from my list here. Okay, so I wrote it down. Laptops / iPads. I sold 6 laptops. Different models like Sony, HP, LG. My mom upgraded her iPad. I even sold a broken laptop, which I did a video on, if you want to find that video. Broken laptop for $120. That was Arit's Acer SSD laptop. SSD means it's a higher powered laptop. So a laptop like that generally would sell brand new, be over $500 for sure, like between $800 to $1,000 Canadian. SSD laptops are more expensive. This is an SSD laptop right now, and we got this laptop for over $1,000. So I was able to sell a broken one for $120. The actual laptop processor and brain of it worked. The only thing that was broken was the screen. Something was wrong with the screen in that you definitely needed it to be changed. And we went to a computer store, asked for it to be a quote on how much it would cost, and they were wanting to charge us like $200 or $300, and I was like, no, I can sell this for at least $100. So we managed to sell a broken laptop. Like, to a normal person, that laptop is useless. Like, to me, I don't know how to change the screen of a laptop, so that's useless to me. And to most people, it'd be useless and they probably throw it out. But you never know that you can sell broken stuff. That's not the first time I've sold a broken laptop. So usually the laptops go for at least $100. My Sony Vaio laptop I sold that for $180. My mom's Sony Vaio laptop was $130. There was an HP laptop, $125. An LG G Pad, sold that for $100. My sister's husband actually got that for free when he got a new cell phone. Like when when you sign up, actually, no, it wasn't a cell phone. No, he opened a bank account. He got a bank account and then they gave him this LG G Pad for free as a bonus gift. And he didn't want it. So he just asked me to sell it. So that sold for $100. And then my mom's iPad 2, which is a very old version, sold for $115. And because we got her a new one for her birthday. Cell phones also do really well. Used cell phones. It is interesting the amount of people that will message you saying that, like, they dropped their phone in the toilet, they broke their phone, something happened to their phone, and they just they need a quick one fast, and they can't buy a brand new one. They just want like a used one really quickly. So we sold 7 cell phones, and 6 of them were all used. And I upgraded my cell phone to an iPhone. My previous cell phone was an S5, which was an older version. And I sold a bunch of Samsung phones, this brand called Huawei, which is like an Asian brand, and then iPhones, Samsung A5, and they all sold for between 80 to 140. And a lot of people, they just keep their old cell phones and they just store them away. You can actually get a pretty good amount of cash for them. Now, there's also some people that are paranoid that, I don't want to sell my old cell phone. Well, you need to clean it. So you can basically do a factory reset and it will reset the entire phone and erase everything on that phone, erase all the data. So you just need to do that and then you're good to go. Clean up the phone, find the cords. If you have the box, even better. And you can get a pretty decent price and at least, $100 for a used cell phone. Another cool one was I was testing out going to stores and seeing if I could find sale items or clearance items and then flip them on Craigslist. I do this on Amazon FBA, but the items are brand new. But this one was a little bit different, and I got the idea when I went into Canadian Tire. Canadian Tire usually has a section, like as is type section, clearance as is, and the stuff could be brand new or it could be opened, like someone opened the box and they realized they didn't want it anymore. So I've been finding stuff from there as well. I actually found some water sports type things. So I found an Intex inflatable boat and it was opened, like the customer didn't want it anymore. It'll say the reason why it was returned. So it was opened and then I think not even used, it said on there. And then they were selling it for, I think like less than $15. And it was like an inflatable boat where you could fit 2 or 4 children, like 2 adults or 4 children in this boat. And I knew that, okay, I can for sure sell this for more. So I managed to sell that one for 60 and I bought it for less than 15. And then there was an inflatable swimming pool that was selling for 19, and it had been opened and also not used, and I managed to sell that one for 65. So those are some examples of things that I found at Canadian Tire in the as is clearance section, and then just resold them on Craigslist. Another thing from Canadian Tire is they had this sale on air mattresses in the summertime. So it was like a queen size air mattress with a self pump. So like to pump it, you would step on a certain section or you can use your hand on the actual mattress and you didn't have to buy a separate pump. So it was like had a pump included and it was a queen size air mattress. And they were on sale for like $30 or $32 around there. And when I saw that sale, I knew that I had to buy some of them and resell it because the value of a queen size air mattress with a self pump, you can definitely sell that for more. So I bought 4 of those air mattresses from Canadian Tire and I sold them for $75 each, and they were purchased at $30, $30 to $32. And I actually also found one in the as is section that was for like same thing, but it was opened, and the customer decided they didn't want it, and it was like $14 or something. So there was an even more profit on that one. So in total, I sold 4 of them, and this coming summer season, if they have that sale again, I will buy more and sell them for more. Oh, and here's another random story. Sometimes you just see things and then you can sell them. So I was visiting Arit's parents, and they live in a city called White Rock, and it's a nice neighborhood, super nice neighborhood, very family-oriented type neighborhood. And it was the summertime, so it was summertime, and I saw that they live in like these kind of complex houses where everyone like lives and it looks like it's all the same house, but they're like different colors, and it's in a neighborhood. And then I saw like a sign like that said free, and like they were just giving away a bunch of stuff, and it was like right in the entrance to go to Arit's parents' place, and it was like right, like you could see her parents' door from where all the stuff was. And there was like a bag of stuff, and me, I always want to check that kind of stuff out. I always like checking it out and seeing what's in there and what people are going to give away. And there was a bag, and it was a bag of ice skates and hockey helmets. And it was like summertime. It was like June or July. And they were like kids' ice skates and hockey helmets. And I think there were like, I can't remember how many ice skates and hockey helmets. But long story short, I ended up selling the skates and the helmets, and that like bag of free stuff turned into $150 worth of profit. Like I literally just found that near Reed's parents' place, like in front of someone's house that they were giving away for free, and sold it for $150. Like that is exciting to me. That excites me. So that was a cool random story. So here's some other random stuff that I was able to sell on Craigslist. A bed frame and base that actually belonged to Arit's parents. They were getting a new bed, like, you know, those beds that are remote control and you can lift up the head and lift up the feet area. Well, they need to get rid of their original mattress and frame, and so they always ask me to sell stuff for them whenever they're getting rid of stuff. So I managed to sell that for $85, and most people would have just thrown that at the dump. And the people actually came and picked it up. If the item is huge, the person like that I'm selling to, one of the requirements is that, you know, you must come pick this up. We're not going to deliver it to you. Oh, and I sold like, you know, those 90s TVs? Sold that to a company that was making a film and they needed some 90s props. That one I sold for really cheap. It was like $25. The television was from the 90s and no one ever uses TVs like that anymore. So, and most people throw them at the recycle depot. I always see TVs like that sitting there in the recycling section. Oh, I sold a juicer, an old juicer that I found at the thrift store. They were selling this Breville juicer for $9. And because I saw that it was Breville and, you know, that's a good quality brand and it's a juicer, that I could sell it for much higher. So I ended up selling that one for $40. And my dad, he does work for a friend who does like sort of maintenance on apartment buildings. So he usually needs my dad to like either build stuff or fix stuff. My dad's quite the handyman. So he found this mini fridge at one of these apartments that was in great condition. And I would never take a mini fridge if I saw it because it's like too heavy of an item for me, but he grabbed it and he brought it back and he's like, "Oh, Jewel, I found this mini fridge. Can you sell it?" And I was like, "I will try. I will always try and sell something. There's no harm in listing something on Craigslist. It's free." So I had never sold a mini fridge before. I listed it, did my research to see the prices, and that random mini fridge that he found sold for $70 and is something that he just found while he was like out doing some part-time work. He's retired now, but he just does these part-time construction gigs, to still do stuff and to still make some side money. So that is an overview of my Craigslist 2018 year. Like I said, I do this part-time. It's a lot of fun for me. I really enjoy jotting the sales down and even meeting some of the people. They actually have really interesting stories and you meet really interesting type of people. And I do have a certain way of listing things and taking pictures. I'm very particular. I follow a system of taking pictures and listing it out, listing the listing out, so that I attract the right kind of people and I end up making the sale. I do have a course that I created on this a couple of years ago, and the course is still very much relevant, even though I did create it a couple of years ago, because Craigslist literally has not changed. It looks exactly the same. They have the same layout, the same listing, the same buttons. It's so classic from the early 2000s. They haven't changed one bit. So the listing process is actually still exactly the same. If you guys are interested in checking that out, you can head down to the description below. I will have a link to the course for you guys. It shows you how to actually list your items, like how I actually write things out. There's a certain way and a certain wording that I use and a template that, in my opinion, drives more sales. And this is just my sales for 2018. Like, I've literally sold hundreds and hundreds of items, probably close to 1,000 items on Craigslist at this point. So I've definitely got a track record, and if you guys are wanting to check that out, you guys can head down to the description below. Alright guys, well, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Back from the dead.